members of faculty, parents, and students. We are gathered here to formally recognize those students who have been selected by the faculty of our school for successfully completing their candidacy and are being inducted as new members of our NHS chapter tonight. For current members and those former members who may be among our guests, we hope this will serve to remind you of the standards of excellence you too are charged with maintaining as members of the nation's oldest, largest, and most prestigious student recognition program. As we begin our induction ceremony this evening, an important foundational piece of NHS is to set high aspirations and to learn from the role models in our community. I can think of no one better to exemplify the pillars of NHS than Mrs. Thesha Hall Poking. Thesha has served in her current role as the juvenile court officer for the last 8 years, where she works diligently to serve the youth in our community as a member of the Iowa Judicial Branch. Prior to this position, she has served both Carroll and Greene County as a juvenile court liaison officer. In these roles, she is a child advocate, ensuring that children and youth in our community are safe from abuse, abandonment, and neglect. In addition, she works diligently to assess the needs of youth who are in need of better life choices and serves as an advocate for them as well. As an educator for Carroll Community Schools, I have seen her impact firsthand in the work that she does and know how much additional time she serves beyond the requirements of her position. This includes working with our staff, training and educating teachers to improve the environment in the building as well. When we talk about leadership, her role in the community encompasses all of the skills needed to be successful. Yet, as we all know, leadership means service. Mrs. Hall Poking gives her time for the Carroll Rotary, the School Improvement Team, and the Board of Directors, 2nd Judicial District Correctional Services. For all of these reasons, and so many more, I am honored to introduce to you tonight Mrs. Thesha Hall Poking.
Well, that was a little embarrassing. Never underestimate the power of dreams and the influence of the human spirit. The potential for greatness lives within each of us. Wilma Rudolph. Thank you, Mrs. Bass, for inviting me to be part of such a special event. As a parent, a community member, and a youth worker, I am honored to be able to speak at such an amazing event and to an amazing group of young people who are well on their way to accomplishing their goals. For those of you who do not know me personally, I am Thesha Hall Poking, a mom first, but also the juvenile court officer for Carroll and Sac counties, meaning I primarily work with youth with whom have made poor choices, found themselves in negative situations, and have exercised poor judgment. You may be thinking, why on earth would Mrs. Bass ask me to speak at the National Honor Society induction? I asked myself this question when she emailed and invited me. But I came to the conclusion that it is based on that she recognized what we all have in common, and that is that we are cultivators of potential. Whether we be teachers, parents, grandparents, peers, mentors, or coaches, and whether we cultivate potential with a carrot or a stick, our goal is to get kids to be the best versions of themselves they can be. When I was in 10th grade at Carroll, I didn't go to Carroll, Center High School in North Highlands, California, I met my favorite teacher ever. Her name was Mrs. Ellis. Mrs. Ellis was my English teacher, and she was truly one of a kind. She wore a full-length fur coat every day of winter, which in Northern California is about 45 degrees. She wore high heels to class every day, and she drove a full-length black Mercedes-Benz sedan. My peers and I thought Mrs. Ellis was rich. And because of that, we thought teachers made so much money. Of course, we were very silly and naive back then. I was a decent student and enjoyed her class very much. One day she asked me to stay after class, and together we went over a book report that I had turned in. She told me the assignment that I had submitted was good, but she was disappointed because it could have been great. She gave it back to me and said I had until the end of the week to either revise it or resubmit it as is. Now, at first, I was a little upset. How dare she tell me that I had not given my best effort on an assignment? It was a B+, and how would she know? After thinking about it for a while, I realized that I had given my best effort at that particular point in time. But now that I realized she thought I was capable of more, I started to believe that too. Maybe, just maybe, I could go to the deeper depths and the longer lengths that she thought I could. She was the first teacher who really pushed me not to just do well, but to continually ask myself if I could do better. And from that point on, she expected greatness from me, and I did my best to live up to her expectations, which were now also my expectations of myself. She pushed me to reach my full potential. There's that word again, potential. What is potential anyway? According to Oxford dictionaries, my daughter informed me Mrs. Bass hates when people use definitions in speeches. Potential is defined as latent qualities or abilities that may be developed and lead to future success or usefulness. Sounds harmless enough, but demonstrating it can be both a blessing or a curse. Because once you show it, that is the standard to which you are measured from then on. Hey kid, you've got potential. Or, you're not working to your full potential. Or, your potential is limitless. Or, you have potential to be great, but there are no vacations from potential. It's always following us around, won't leave us alone, nagging at us all the time that you can do better. But potential needs attention, and that's where we as adults come in. Sometimes it needs to be planted, nurtured, tended to, and harvested. Sometimes it needs to be dug up, dusted off, and put on a shelf where everybody can see it. Sometimes it needs to be nudged, pushed, or dragged out kicking and screaming. Sometimes you just point it in the right direction and it takes off on its own. We as cultivators of potential can help shape, encourage, and grow each student's belief in what they are capable of. When they doubt themselves, we are there to say, you got this. When they run into a dead end, we are there to say, what's your next move? And when they make a mistake, even though they didn't listen to their parents who tried to tell them what was going to happen, or they find themselves sitting across from me in my desk in my office, we are there to say, this mistake does not have to define you. Now it is your turn to be recognized. You are here because you've put in the work and demonstrated leadership, scholarship, service to others, and outstanding character. by working late nights, having study sessions squeezed in between activities and responsibilities, by not being satisfied, by just doing okay on the test, by prioritizing your future, dreaming big dreams, missing out on some things, choosing not to partake in others. Sometimes it's hard. The road is not easy, always, or fun. Being a leader is not always easy or fun. It involves making difficult choices and often putting the needs of the group before your own needs. Being willing to take extra tasks, make sure things get done and done right. Being problem solvers and resourceful. Being a leader involves holding oneself accountable and making adjustments where needed. It takes attention to detail and perseverance and determination of the mind and spirit. Similarly, showing outstanding character is a decision that has to be made every day. Am I going to do what is easy, or am I going to do what is right? Am I honest, trustworthy, and dependable? Do I set a positive example for my peers? Am I doing enough to show concern and respect for others? Am I judging others, thinking too much of my own accomplishment, or am I willing to lend a helping hand and a positive word when needed? Am I serving my school and my community to the best of my ability? There will always be bumps along the way. There are valleys and there are peaks. And tonight, we are here to recognize what I am sure will be one of the many peaks for all of the promising young people here in this auditorium. Tonight, we're here to celebrate and honor your hard work and your success. We are here to recognize your character, scholarship, leadership, and service. To encourage you to stay the path that you have made for yourselves, to invite you to continue to challenge yourselves, and to share our pride with others that have helped you be the best version of yourselves. I leave you with the words of William Faulkner: always dream and shoot higher than you know you can do. Do not bother just to be better than your contemporaries or your predecessors. Try to be better than yourself. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those words. It is a perfect way to begin our induction. Our chapter is proud to continue the emphasis on excellence that we represent for this school and community. Throughout the year, members of our chapter serve as role models. In addition to the strong academic records that established our eligibility for membership, our chapter members are leaders in many student organizations, and we serve the school and the community. We are proud to welcome these new members who bring energy of support in our continuing work as NHS members. It is at this time that we proclaim to all in attendance that membership in Carroll High School's chapter of the National Honor Society has been earned by these candidates through the effective demonstration of the 4 qualities that serve as the standards for the society. Members, the officers of this chapter, will now review these qualities for the candidates.
Scholarship denotes a commitment to learning. A student is willing to spend hours in reading and study because they know the lasting benefits of a cultivated mind. We should continue to learn even when formal education has ended, for human education ends only with the end of life. Knowledge is one great element in life which leads to the highest success, and it can be acquired in only one way, through diligence and effort. Learning furnishes the lamp by which we read the past and the light which illuminates the future. Each candidate has the charge to continually expand their world through the opportunities inherent in scholarship.
Service can be established in the routine of the day's work. Many opportunities arise to help others at school and in the community. A willingness to work for the benefit of those in need without monetary compensation or without public recognition is the quality we seek in our membership and promote for the entire student body. We are committed to the idea of volunteering our time and talents to the creation of a better tomorrow.
Leadership should exert a wholesome influence on the school. In taking the initiative in class and in school activities, the real leader strives to train and aid others to attain the same objective. The price of leadership is sacrifice, the willingness to yield one's personal interests for the interest of others. A leader has confidence in themselves and will go forward when others hesitate. No matter what power and resources may exist in a country, they are ineffectual without the guidance of a wise leader. Leadership is always needed, and thus an important quality in each of our members.
Character is the force in one man that distinguishes him from the others. It gives him individuality and personality. It is that without which no man can respect himself, nor hope to attain the respect of others. It is this force of character that guides men through life and, when once developed, grows steadily. Character is achieved and not received. It is the product of constant action, daily striving to make the right choice. The problem of character is the problem of self-control. We must be in reality what we wish to appear in others. By demonstrating such qualities as reliability, honesty, and sincerity, we may hope to prove by example that we value character.
As we call the inductees forward tonight, I would like the audience to know that each new member, as they come up, will be signing a contract to uphold these principles. The contract they are signing reiterates the standards and obligations as an NHS member. The contract states the selection criteria, which includes academic excellence, including academic honesty and integrity, exhibiting behavior consistent with the qualities of service, character, and leadership, and adhering to all school board policies regarding activities and competition. Membership, however, is more than an honor. It is an ongoing responsibility and an obligation to continue to demonstrate those outstanding qualities that resulted in your selection. Your membership also carries a responsibility to the chapter. If our chapter to the National Honor Society is to be effective and meaningful, each member must become involved and exemplify character in every facet of his or her life. Students, it is now my honor to begin the induction of new members for Carroll High School's National Honor Society. The officers tonight will be guiding the inductees through the process where they will sign the contract and receive their pledge, certificate, and pin. As we call your name, please come forward. Maya Bell. Olivia Bass. Miles Bogue. Cassandra Brown. Melissa Chacon Gomez. Ashley Danner. Ava Gross. Daniel Harrison. Joey Heidoff. Emma Hinners. Joe Kimball. Elijah Lowe. Megan McGrow. Lydia Miners. Madeline Parrott. Sophia Poking. Brooke Ryling. Kylie Reesberg. Cameron Shable. Shay Senard. Aubrey Snyder. JC Stern could not be with us tonight, but I would like to recognize her. William Teggett. Kennedy Tyne. Alexa Jean Thornock. Madison Thornock. Caitlin Tigas. Madison Tuning. Macy Tuning. Macy Weber. Liliana Wiltsey. To finalize the induction into the National Honor Society, I need to invite all the inductees to please recite. We're going to give Miles a second to rejoin us. We're going to have you recite the pledge with me, and that will complete your official induction. The Nhs Pledge. I pledge myself to uphold the high purposes of the National Honor Society to which I have been selected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands and will maintain and encourage the high standards of scholarship, service, leadership, and character. It is my pleasure to now introduce to you the new members of Carroll High School's 2022 National Honor Society. I want to thank everyone for their attendance tonight, and I would like to invite the inductees and the current officers to please stick around. We need to do a group photo. We do have the Daily Times Herald here, and so we'd like to get Tiger Vision, yearbook, and newspaper photos. Mrs. McKenzie, it is your moment to shine. She does a beautiful job of lining students up for photos.
Is it uneven? Yeah, you guys gotta come this way.